Rent a Hero is one of those games that's just got Sega written all over it. I don't even feel like I need to explain much more than that, let's just roll the intro. Hello folks and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be continuing our virtual tour series with Rent a Hero number 1, which is a Japanese exclusive Dreamcast game that got translated a few years back by VincentNL and his team of rent-a-modders. It's an action RPG with a goofy, silly tone that uses a lot of imagery from tokusatsu and Sentai type shows. But what I'm interested in talking about today, of course, is the aesthetic and the vibe of the game. The world of Rent a Hero is split up into 5 different parts based on these 5 different train stops. We'll start off in Hangover Park because that's where Taro Yamada lives. He's our main character, he's the Rent a Hero, you know? And there's a really nice mishmash of urban and suburban things going on just on this street. Down one end we've got a huge tower block of apartments, a mansion, a basketball court. Then there's the fairly idyllic suburb section where Taro and his friends live. And then towards the train station we've got the shops like the My Donald Burger, the Hold Up Mark, and Hangover College, where Sagata Sanshiro works. But before we go touring those locations, I want to jump in and have a look at some of the houses here. Now this might sound a bit strange, but one of the things that's really appealing to me about the way this game looks is the way the houses are decorated. Obviously this was made by a Japanese team in the late 90s, but they've tried to emulate a sort of American culture, which seems to have been done through sort of pop culture references and source material from maybe films and TV shows. But as such it gives it a really nice sort of 90s sitcom set vibe. We start off here in Taro's room, we can see his vinyl collection, we can see his computer in the corner, his Dreamcast on the shelf. Coming down to the living room here where there's a party in full swing, we can see the nice spread on the table and the very garish 90s design to all of the decor here. But then I do absolutely adore the big home studio here at the back. Exploring and nosing around the houses in this game makes me think of a very particular experience that I used to enjoy in my childhood. Now I don't know how much of a universal experience this is for people, but when I was a kid I used to really like going to DIY and home improvement type shops where sometimes they'd have display rooms laid out, like why don't you have your bedroom like this, or why don't you have your bathroom like this. Little mock-up rooms you could go and walk around. I used to love doing the whole Shenmue thing of walking around them and opening all the drawers and going and you very much get that vibe here with Rent a Hero too, although with some slightly more anachronistic touches like the Haniwa on the shelf here, which probably wasn't a staple in most American homes of the 90s. I could probably do a whole video just trundling around all these houses and looking at the funny little details. It is extremely cool that they took the time and effort to make all these unique assets and all these interesting rooms that are very optional to explore. Most of the game does take place outdoors, so let's go for a stroll. Here's the basketball court with the rest in peace and the in memory of Poochie. Some strange graffiti that I feel like we also see in Fighting Vipers maybe. There's a nice little water fountain here where the kids are hanging out and the janitor's sweeping up over there by the apartments. If we go into the Hold Up Mart here, you can see all the bento boxes lining the shelves and the various different low poly items that you can buy. It is worth mentioning by the way that a big shout out to VincentNL, Bayles and Derek Pascarella, who all helped me in different ways to hack this game a little bit. As you've probably noticed, I've modded it a little bit here to hide Taro when I don't want to see him, and also to move the camera around as much as I can. Because in the original game the camera's just always at one fixed height, so some of these things that we're getting closer looks at you just wouldn't see from that angle in the game, which is really strange to me. So huge thanks to those dudes for helping me. Here we are now in the grounds of Hangover College, which is where Segata Sanshiro works, and the architecture of the college here really has a nice vibe with the pillars and columns and the huge fountains. If you get close enough to the text here, you can see something about Camp Crystal Lake, so there was clearly a Friday the 13th fan in the crew. And if we head over to the gym, we can see Segata Sanshiro himself. Okay, let's head over into New York City. This is a bigger and more built up area, as you can see from the hospital here and the bank and the Penguin restaurant. I love this little tiny built up Japanese style street here with all the shops. Friendly little tanuki here guarding the Jewels for Fools shop. This area's got a very nice Station Square kind of vibe to it, with it just essentially being one city block, but with loads of different stuff available and all the cars moseying around. Makes it feel really lived in, you know? This is also where you'll find the Service Cafe, or Seika, which is a front organisation that secretly runs the Rent-A-Hero operations. So you can sit on the toilet in the back room, and that's actually a lift that takes you down to some secret basement floors where you can look at some pretty cool high-tech research labs. It's got a nice turn of the millennium futurism to it, like Resident Evil or Dino Crisis, with all the industrial piping and chrome and glass tubes and all that kind of stuff. New York's also the area with some of the best shops, like the Clip Notebooks here that we saw before. We can go in and have a look, and there's lots of unique assets that we can check out. Lots of signs asking us, do you read the books? Jewels for Fools, despite the weird name, might be my favourite shop. There's all sorts of interesting statues and trinkets and decor that you just don't see anywhere else in the game, localised just to this one tiny missable shop that you never actually have to go to. And I know I harp on that, but I really do appreciate it. Same's true over here at the hospital. You only ever actually have to go here for 1 or 2 quests to visit patients, so it probably wasn't necessary to even model the interior. You could have just done it all in text, or just had one room where the patients are. But the whole thing's fully explorable, and you can go and see a surprising amount of detail. Another highlight of this game here is the arcade. As you can see, it's all gloriously Sega coded with the Spike Out, Choo Choo Rocket, Samba de Amigo signs all over the place. And although you can't play the games like you can in Shenmue, you can spot some real bangers. Scud Race in the back corner there. Just a couple more highlights in New York before we move on. Let's go into the pizza parlour here, where you can see this very charming repetitive animation of this guy needing a low poly pizza. And also let's go over here into the Penguin restaurant as well, because that's quite a vibe in its own right. Okay, we're back on the move and we're going to Drive By City now. This is the big commercial district of the game, where you've got a huge shopping centre and lots of corporate headquarters. And as you can see by the shipping containers everywhere, it's also attached to Clean Bay, which is the dock area we'll explore in a little bit. Let's go into Marshmallow Fields department store. There's nothing too exciting on the first floor, just a menswear store and a jewellery shop. But there is this ominous spinning cube in the middle of the room showing the aliens from Space Channel 5, so I do dig that. Heading up onto the roof we can see Family Hero Show Square, which is where the hero show takes place. No prizes for guessing who the hero might be. There's a really cool sort of amusement park themed area where there's all kinds of snacks and stuff. It's very colourful and kid friendly, with the ducks and ray guns painted on the brick wall here and all the vending machines and hot dog stands. If we go down to the basement, there's a kind of general goods store, which again is pretty similar to the Hold Up Mart, but even more unique assets you can see. Like these big stock images of cheese just hanging up over the food area. I really could go for a cool crystal water ocean right about now. Let's jump into the police station because the theme tune's absolutely banging. This is only my third favourite police station after Raccoon City Police Department and whatever the one in Parasite Eve's called. But it's not at all without its charm. Look at this high-tech surveillance room here at the back with the drive-by map, that's awesome. I'm a real sucker for any kind of digital map that looks like that. If you do that in a game, you've got me on side. If we go into Detective Clue's office here, we can see this lad Grafton at the desk and also see the suspect list on the chalkboard there. These references are maybe Easter eggs or something. I don't really get any of them, but I'll display them here for posterity. Let's take a little jaunt around Clean Bay now, the dock area. Sadly not as exciting as Shenmue, no 70-man brawls or lads racing forklifts around, but there's still something about the style and colour palette that sings to me. The huge chemical tanks everywhere, the glass walkways, and the narco company headquarters here. Now let's quickly take a jaunt over to our last area, Cornhole Valley. It's a nice little area out in the country with the shoddy construction crew doing some mining, so it's got kind of a rugged factory town vibe to it. It's a sleepy little town on the whole. It's just got the mum and pop shop, the rail station, the park. Probably a Gonta house, though I'm not sure since there's no Gonta around. You gotta be careful of camels, wombats and kangaroos crossing around here. And although it's got its own more down-home country flavour with the farmers and the guys hoeing the field out here, it is essentially another showcase of cool living spaces, so let's just have a little montage of that to wrap up. And that about does it for Rent a Hero. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that usual plug-in stuff. I hope you're enjoying this virtual tour series. I do have some more videos to come, and also I do have some reviews and other types of videos coming through, so hopefully there'll be a bit of variety as we go through towards the end of the year. As always, thanks for your support, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.